Very cool. Welcome to Action Go Go, everybody. Have the pleasure of interviewing Raymond St-Jean, the director of the movie Dusk for a Hitman. I had the opportunity to watch it myself. Excellent movie,
Thank you.
fantastic movie. Um, and thank you so much for being willing to sit down for an interview.
Pleasure.
Excellent. So I guess we'll just sort of dive right in. I was looking at your filmography and whatnot, very interesting documentaries and whatnot. What brought you to this film in particular?
Oh, well, what brought me to this film? Memories. Memories of my teen years. I was looking for a subject to write a screenplay with Martin Girard, my co-writer. And yeah, like you said, I made many documentaries. Most of my films are actually documentaries. Did some dramas, short film at a time, but I wanted to do a feature, and essentially what I did is, what was this subject was very important to me when I was 18, 20. It was happening at the time, and I was following a lot. I always been a big fan of the genre, also, the gangster movie from the 70s, and I was following the all the I was reading the newspapers at the time, following the adventures of these guys, these criminals, which I found very fascinating. The Dubois family was a big family. There were 9 brothers. Uh, 9 of them or 8 of them were involved in crime. They were sort of a gang altogether, but Claude Dubois and of his brother Raymond, the older brother, were the two leader of the gang. And so all this came crumbling down, with Donald Lavoie in the early 80s, which is the tale we're telling in our film. And so I needed to find something, that it's long to make a film, finance the movie, write it. It's maybe 5, 6 years here in Quebec. So I needed something that was that I could hold on for years and support with all my strength. So the genre with the subject, were the two main attraction part that were attracting me to this subject, And Donald Lavoie especially is a fascinating guy. There are a few interviews of him that were done at the time,
Hmm.
but other than docudrama or documentaries on TV, his story was never told, and mostly he's a very strong character. The ideal movie character. It's very charismatic. He had, he was a nice man, but also, a terrible murderer. So of course these are ingredients for a good film. So these are the reasons why I went there. Yeah.
Excellent. So that actually took care of a couple of my questions. So this is a very personal story for you in that sense, where you grew up with it, you were very
Yeah.
much aware of it, and it was a part of your life in that sense.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, the movie, again, I very much enjoyed the film myself, and it was very much driven by Éric Bruneau, correct?
Mhm.
The star. He gives an incredible performance in this. How did you come about selecting him for the film, or did you know him? Did you always have him in mind?
Yeah. Well, in Quebec, Éric is a pretty big star already. He's well known. He also writes TV series, plays in them, and he's well known in Quebec. But still, we did the auditions for the role. So many of the best actors in Quebec came to audition for the role. I think Eric was a natural for this part. First, there's a familiarity between him and Donald Lavoie. If you look at real pictures of Donald, you see there's something there that's similar. It's not the main reason. The main reason is that he's an amazing actor, and he could carry the movie on his shoulder, and and he did that. He was pretty involved in preparation. We worked together a lot. He was very invested in the role, and I think he gave one of his best performance, in life for this. So we did. I could have chosen him right from the start, but we still did auditions.
And interesting, interesting. And the movie, and just to the broader cast itself, it's filled with great performances, and it's a very
Yeah.
interpersonal film. A lot of it's taking place, not trying to spoil it for anybody, but a lot of it's in cars and in rooms. It's very dramatic that way. A lot of confrontations, which is great. It was great to watch.
Mhm.
In terms of getting those performances out of actors, do
Yeah.
you rely on rehearsals more? Do you try and let people be more creative along the
Mhm.
process, or what is your take there?
Well, yeah. So the film is categorized in the thriller genre, but it or the film noir genre. But for us, it was really a character drama. It was like it's not. There are murders and some violence, but it's not an action movie at all. So it was very important to have solid actors, coming from different background to play in the film. So the thing is, we have a lot of very, very good actors in Canada, and especially in Quebec. We have many acting schools, and the television business is huge. So we make a lot of series that you don't see in the United States, but there's a pool of great actors here. So it was pretty easy to cast. I had choices for each role, very good choices for each role. But again, Benoît Gouin was playing Claude Dubois. He too has a similar demeanor to the real guy at the time. So when we did the audition, he came in and played with Éric. It was at first sight was okay. This is the match. These guys are gonna they knew each other. Of course, it's a small small province, a small milieu. The movie business in Quebec. They knew each other, but it was a perfect in character. They were a perfect match. So as far as auditions and stuff like that, no, meaning rehearsals and things like that. No, we didn't have time to do much, and we don't do that a lot. Uh, we did a few scenes. They came on a set, but they're so good, that they just went into it, and it was very easy and very natural for them to get into the parts. All characters. The actors who plays. Uh, Donald Eric's brother is a guy is a young actor coming out of school. He had a few plays and scenes in movies in his body, but he just came in and poof, he gave this wonderful performance also. So we have a great pool of actors here, and I think that's a secret.
That's fascinating. I'm so American, and I know a lot of things are made in Canada for all sorts of reasons. A lot of American productions, but that's interesting to learn that there's such a great pool of talent to choose from, and it
Yeah.
sounds like a very smooth process at the end of the day. I guess I know we don't have too much time, but what was your biggest challenge during filming? Were you frustrated at any point with anything in particular, or was it just a pleasurable experience most of the time?
Well, it is. Well, you get to make so few that each time you take the best of it and make it a pleasurable experience, whatever the problems may be. But I think the hardest part was to recreate the area, the era, recreate the time. It's all done in location. We don't have an immense budget. It's very low budget in American standards. Finding the locations and even the cars, finding the right cars is not that easy. Most of these cars don't run. From so you have to bring them and place them on a set. You can pay for you don't have the budget to pay for many cars. I couldn't do Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. When I see these films with all these cars in the street, I'm always amazed. So I think recreating the time is the most difficult part, because we don't have the budget to do that. But still, with the art direction and the DOP, I think we did a good job to give a right impression of the time.
Excellent. Well, it definitely pays dividends because like I grew up in the 80s and 90s, and it felt familiar to me.
Hmm.
It's so interesting. I've been to Canada. I have family in Canada. I have a lot of love for Canada, but it's amazing how American things felt, and it's not a bad thing because it is so similar at the end of the day. But
Yeah,
I did love the hair, the music that you chose for the film. It all paid off to make it
yeah.
very authentic.
But the hair, we're very lucky. We're, there are good sides to COVID, because the guys were all at home waiting to shoot the film, and I told them, well, don't cut your hair, don't cut your beard, let it grow, so we don't have anything fake in the movie. That these sometimes these things happen, and it helps very much.
Excellent, excellent. Well, it all, like I said, it all pays dividends. Excuse me. I very much enjoyed the movie. I did get my 1 minute warning here. Raymond, thank you so much for your time. This was a very pleasurable interview, short but sweet. Best of
Okay,
luck with the film. Wishing you nothing but
thank you.
success and just tremendous job. It was an amazing film.
Thanks, thank you.
All right, take it easy.
Have a nice day.